For this video, I'm going to talk about 357. And if you've been following my podcast and you follow the panelists, the stuff I'm about to share probably is fairly common knowledge. You probably already know it, but there's a possibility you don't. And this especially goes out to the people that don't. So 357 is an awesome caliber. This is my Model 28 Smith & Wesson Highway Patrolman. It is a 6-shot 357. This is a large piece of iron, and it's heavy. And due to the size and the weight, it really is conducive to shooting 357s. Now, shooting full house 357 is awesome, and it definitely has a place. The problem with 357 is it can be absolutely punishing. My friend Daryl Bolke, also known as DB, shoots magnums like no other. And through the years, he's done it so much, it's created some physical problems. He has some arthritis due to that. So if you think about it, we have this buffalo bore, this 180 grain going at 1,400 feet per second. That is punishing not only to the thing it hits, but it's also punishing to the gun. It's also punishing to you as the shooter. Now, if you take the easy route, and it's a fun route, and you're just shooting 38s through a 357, well, you're going to have less recoil, less blast, less wear on the gun. But there's a downside. And it is definitely easier to shoot. But the downside is because of the case length, and if you don't know, here's the buffalo bore next to a High Desert 38. The Magnum round has a longer case. So 357 has a longer case than 38. And what that means is when you put the 38 into a 357 cylinder, when the 38 goes off, it's going to deposit some carbon in a ring. And you do that enough, that ring's going to be more difficult to remove. So unless you're maintaining your gun and keeping it pristine, this carbon ring is going to build to a point where you can't load 357 into the cylinder anymore. So that's kind of a bad thing. So in comes DB, Daryl Bolke. He gets with High Desert Cartridge, and together they make a round that is right here in my hand. It is a 158 grain at 950 feet per second. It is a 357 in length, but it's more of a 38 plus P in performance. So what that means is you're going to have less blast, you're going to have less noise, less recoil, and it's going to be less punishing on both your gun and on you. If you happen to have older 357s and you're worried about them, this special DB load is the solution. The nice thing about High Desert stuff also is they have their defensive rounds, but they also have a corresponding total metal jacket variation. So what that means is you have a practice round, and I don't have one next to me, but you have a practice round that mimics the performance on the external ballistics of your jacketed hollow point. So that what that means is you're looking at similar trajectories, similar blasts, similar everything, that same profile. Terminal effects are going to be different because you're talking about a non-expanding versus an expanding, but that's not that important. But the most important thing is it is a solution for a legitimate problem. So if you really like shooting those 357s, but you don't want the wear and tear on you or the gun, you don't want to have that carbon buildup, the High Desert DB load, I like to call it DB flavored, is clearly the solution. Additionally, when you're placing that order for those, let me reread that also for you. So the DB load is the 158 grain 357 that is going at 900 feet per second. That's the DB load. That's basically, it's a 38 plus P, but in a 357 case. Also, when you place that order at High Desert, don't forget to get your wad cutters. A lot of people have asked, where am I getting my wad cutters? And it's High Desert. Basically, all my revolver stuff, all my revolver ammunition is through High Desert. It's affordable, it's available, and it's been performing great. If you happen to look up on their website and you can't quite find what you're looking for, go into the search and put in the exact terms, whether it's a 357, a 38 wad cutter, whatever. Put that in and your options may open up. If you notice that the specific ammunition you're looking for is out of stock, click on Notify Me or even contact them, and they probably have it available. It just needs to be packaged. But yeah, High Desert is highly recommended, and it is an absolute dream to shoot through, shoot in the DB loads through my Model 28. So that is all. I'll talk to you later.